So builders are in trouble right now, and that's what we are going to talk in this video. Real estate market 2022 has been changing very drastically, and that's what affecting not only resales but also the new construction homes. The builders who were small builders to the big large companies of the builders, those are suffering right now in 2022, and they changed their complete strategy to market their homes. And so let's start this video right now. This is Komal Acharya. Welcome to my channel, Moving to Florida Now. Or welcome back to my channel, Moving to Florida Now. So this video, we are more focusing on a new construction because the builders are literally in trouble. And the trouble means, yes, trouble, because a lot of people are backing out from the contracts. So if you see the graph, this is a nationwide happening. More highest is happening in Texas. Almost 27% of the buyers have backed out in July month. And that has been increased even a little bit like in August too. So if you see this graph, Florida is a little bit in the bottom, but the Florida has been one of them too, where the lot of backouts are happening. And this graph will give you an idea, like let's say comparing to July 2021 to July 2022, what are the big changes that happen in a backdown? And this tells the big story of the behind the scene, what's happening in the new construction homes and with the builders. And a lot of buyers right now renegotiating the contracts. We have a couple of buyers, we have helped them to renegotiate the contracts because the prices have been shaky. The new construction builders are reducing the price drastically lower, plus giving some closing cost assistance, which they were never ever talked about in last 3 years. And last 3 years, more importantly, they were actually beating those properties, like beating the lots, actually not the properties, but building the lots. And they were going with the pre-designed concept instead of having the buyers to choose, like let's say what do you want to put in a kitchen, or if what you want to put in a countertop, what kind of cabinets you want, what kind of floors you want. So those things also, they almost eliminated every builder, and they were going by inventory wise. Now those things are changing, or I would say it's already changed with the most of the builders. For South Florida market, I am not very favorable to new construction unless it makes sense. In 2020 or 2021, I was almost saying no to my buyers go for the new construction because they were kind of crazily bidding the lots, and it wasn't making even sense. I know resale also had the bidding wars. In resale also you may have to waive inspections or waive appraisals, but still the number wise you do get a little better value in a resale than new construction, especially in that last 3 years. But now things are changing. The builders are realizing this higher interest rates backing out the buyers. Overall this fear happening in this housing market is affecting builders a lot. A lot of plus things are happening too. Like for example, the lumber price have getting reduced. So that's also giving a little bit of balance to the builders. So that's a good news because a lot of properties were hold up for the construction because of the supply issues. And not everything has been resolved, but the lumber prices have been coming back, getting reduced. I'm not saying totally coming back, but it's this market has been helping to, lowering the prices. So the government, what they're trying to do to control this inflation by bringing the higher interest rates close to 6%, and a lot of buyers. So the government, what they're trying to do to control this inflation in one or other way, working for the builders, because the cost prices are a little bit kind of moving around, especially in the lower side. But if you see the contract wise, a lot of builders, like especially we have seen in North Florida, Jacksonville or Pensacola or Palm Bay, those areas I have seen almost 17% of buyers are either renegotiating or canceling their contracts. So when you work with these new builders, normally people give a deposit and there is a deadline to give their house from the builder. Because of the supply issue, also a lot of builders were running behind, and that's kind of helped to the buyers to either renegotiate the numbers or else giving them like something towards the closing costs, incentives to keep the negotiation going, because the builders now they are trying is less, if they go through less cancellation as much as possible so that their inventory doesn't increase, and it's kind of in a control, it stays in a control. So basically with the existing inventory, they are suffering a lot. The new builds, they are controlling right now no matter what, but whatever the existing inventory, which was started actually a year ago, and now almost the delivery is there, so those inventory is kind of in a trouble because a lot of people are backing out or renegotiating the contract. So instead of putting in a fresh in a market and reducing the numbers, what they are trying to do with the existing buyers, they are trying to negotiate with either with the closing cost incentives or with the price incentive. Not every builder is doing that, okay? And a lot of people are contacting us to help them out in this kind of situation. But let me tell you, if you have a realtor presentation, then your realtor has to help you out. This is just the information I'm providing, what is happening in behind the scene. But if you do not have a realtor presentation, then it's very difficult. Like you only have to do this negotiation. But for the something you are going fresh, then only we can help you out. And if you are in different areas and if you already have a realtor pre-presentation, you should take this advice seriously and either evaluate all the numbers and try to negotiate with the builder, or else a lot of people are just leaving the deposit. Because if you see the value, how they are reducing the numbers, it's not going to help you for your own resale, okay? Because let's say even though you keep the property for long term, but that's not going to 100% help you when the overall comparable through the builder is going down, okay? Resale works a little differently, but when there is a builder in that community, their prices affects drastically to homeowners who are already in that community. So I have seen like a couple of my buyers, we are also advising, let's say it's a few $1,000s, it's a worth to live, on table versus, you keep going and go for the closing and suffer after the years where the prices are already kind of suffering at this moment, especially in the new builds. And this is happening a lot in Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville market in Florida. And if you see the nationwide in Texas, lot of communities and lot of builders are kind of in a trouble this way, and the buyers are taking the strict actions against that. If we check the nationwide data, 63,000 of the agreements fell through in July. 63,000. Wow. Or about 16% of the homes that went under contract the month, and according to the Redfin, they say cancellation were 12.5% in July 2021. So, that's very less in July 2021. And if you see this graph again, it's like almost 27%, 25%, 23% in different areas, and Florida is like 13%, where majority of them are in Jacksonville area. So in Florida specifically, if you see the city of Jacksonville, where about 800 contracts, or I would say it's like 29.3% cancellation happened in just the month of July, which is crazy. And along with Jacksonville, Daytona, Orlando, Palm Bay, Pensacola, those are suffered a lot. In South Florida, we saw less because already new construction inventory or new construction builders are less in South Florida area. So we do see some changes, like in a back end, if I see like there's a community called Arden here in Wellington. Before they were like literally bidding on lots, and you would not get, there is no guarantee you would get the property basically. Even though you like it, you love it, but there is no guarantee. Even the prices, what builders are telling you, depends on the numbers you are kind of agreeing. Still, there was no guarantee, because the biddings, like one lot, there were like 25 biddings were happening. The community like Lotus Palm, there's like one lot, there's 150 bidders would be there. So it was a crazy market, especially last 3 years in the new construction in South Florida. And that boosted up the price so much high that per square foot price, even like most of the time, the new builds are a little bit more better than the resale I have seen, okay, in a normal market. And that's why people prefer new build. Even the lot sizes are less, or you may not get the view, but the per square foot price, you do get the better numbers compared to resale, and you get completely everything new. But at the same time, you can also do your own remodeling. Like for example, what you want to choose, your kitchen, your countertop, that you have a liberty to do that, which you don't have in resale. But this has completely got reversed in this last 3 years in South Florida, where this bidding and there's existing inventory you have to choose, and they choose for you. Builders choose for the buyers. Like buyers doesn't have any right to choose even a single thing in a house. Is like they made just like a labels for every single thing. So technically, if you see this, those things are stopped, almost stopped with the majority of the builders. Plus, they are kind of giving the incentives towards the closing costs, and that's kind of plus, which was not happening in this last 3 years market. It was there before, but not right now. So technically, South Florida also got affected, but in a different way. So we don't see a lot of cancellation, because it's in average, there's less what you call the new builders in South Florida market. So if you had any experience in this market for the buying or selling, especially with the new builds, then comment here below. Like other viewers will really get good benefits. And if you have your own opinion where this market heading and what kind of changes in the future it will bring, please comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.